Welcome back to another live episode of the Your Best Lifestyles Health and Wellness Podcast. I am your host, Terrence Hutchinson, right here at the Old Robson Public Relations and Media Group Studios in Marietta, Georgia. Happy Saturday morning. What's happening? Hope you guys are up. It is 7:17 in the morning. It's a little cold and rainy out there. A little chilly, but hey, we coming in. This is the day is the 21st. Yeah, it's just the first day of winter. So let's get together. Let's get it together, man. Stay warm, bundle up. Listen, I'm not going to hold you guys. I know you guys are probably sleeping in, or you're up, moving around, depending on your activity levels, right? It's the holiday season, only a few days left before Christmas. So I know a lot of you guys are moving around. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about being your own competition, right? This is very, very, very important. So many times, we are competing against everything else, so especially in the world full of sports, entertainment, whatever it is, right? People always say all the time, you are your own competition. What this means is your main goal should be to improve upon your past performance, right? A lot of times we get so stuck in our head, we're competing against everybody else. We're looking at what everybody else is doing. We're paying attention to beating everybody else. We're focusing on that. This is, don't do that, right? You got to focus on improving upon your own past performances, rather than let me try to outdo one another, somebody else. Let me try to get one up on them. Nah, right? So when you focus on your past experiences, what this really does, once you start to apply this type of mindset or philosophy into all areas of your life, whether it's coming from entertainment, fitness, personal growth, corporate world, whatever it is, right? You tend to get more benefits that way, right? So when you tend to get benefits when you start to focus on all these different things that can generate success and growth in all areas of your life, right? So when you start to focus on competing against yourself, what happens is, and I'm telling you from personal experience and people I know, you start to eliminate the external pressures and distractions from social media or all these different things like that can really sabotage or hinder your success. And this is a big deal, right? So when it comes down to that self-sabotaging your success, you have to eliminate the distractions. And when you do that, you pretty much are no longer at the mercy of everybody else and what everybody else is doing, right? You're trying to keep up with them, or even their opinions. You strip away, you take away from what you need to be focusing on. You get that out the way, and you just focus on you. When you do that, you start to control your own journey. This is very important. So when it comes down to setting your pace, getting your goals in place, you have to focus on you. Eliminate distractions. Don't worry what the competition is doing. You keep your head down and you work on you. You have a plan, you have a goal, and you say, you know what? I'm just going to go on a ghost mode. I'm not going to say nothing. I'm just going to do me, and I'm going to pop out and show people, right? So when you start to incorporate this inward focus, what happens is you start to develop a deep sense of self-awareness. You start to be so aware of who you are, where you want to go, and why. You start to say, okay, let me track my progress and identify any type of areas that you need improvement in. Like you have a lot of weaknesses. We all have, right? It's the yin and the yang of life. You have strength and you have weaknesses. You have good and the bad, right? So once you start to identify the areas for improvement, then you start to gain a better understanding of your strengths and weaknesses, if that makes sense, right? A lot of you guys, you're blind, you can't identify what's making you strong or what's making you weak, or what areas you should be improving in. So once you gather this knowledge, you have to gather some knowledge, right? It will become invaluable, let me say that, to help you reach your full potential, your full goal. It becomes invaluable. Like, man, this is the information that I was looking for. And sometimes you have to sit quietly and let it come to you. Distraction, no noise, sit quietly, meditate, and see what's going on. You have to pinpoint what's happening. Okay? So how to make yourself your own competition? Like, that is the question. So many people come say, man, it's a competitive market out here, in whatever market you're in, whatever industry that you're in. Maybe it's acting, rapping, singing, fitness, the corporate world, whatever it is, you're out for promotion. It's like, man, I need to lose weight. I need to get in shape. I need to eat better, whatever it is, right? There's so much more competition out there, especially with the social media. You're seeing all these people winning. You got to eliminate that. So how can you start to make yourself your own competition? Now, I'm gonna give you guys a few tips that work for me as a wellness coach that I've used for success over the years, right? And I'm still constantly learning myself. Like, man, I didn't know that about me. Oh, I'm weak over here. Let me focus on that. So we all heard about specific goals, right? We're talking about you have to set specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant and time-bound goals, SMART goals. This is very important. A lot of you guys don't focus on SMART goals. So when we start to set SMART goals, right, we start to track our progress, and we tend to measure our success more accurately. We are not all over the place, like, oh my God, I'm just so confused right now. Also, when it comes down to improvement, we have to focus on self-improving continuously, like every moment. Don't drive yourself crazy about it, but you got to, every time you be like, man, I didn't do too well over here. Let me, what my weaknesses, let me try to fix it, right? So it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see results immediately, but you can't, it's okay, but don't stay there, right? The key thing to stay out of the discouragement mode is that you have to learn how to celebrate the small victories and use your setbacks, because you can have a straight and narrow path, but it's going to be a lot of setbacks. It's going to be a lot of detours. Life is life, and life is going to do what it's doing, right? But once again, we have to learn these setbacks and detours as opportunities to learn and grow for success, self-improvement. This journey, it's not going to be a straight line. And people in their mind, yeah, that's the vision. Like, okay, we just going to go straight. It's not going to be a straight line. It's going to be zigzags, crisscross, circles. It's going to drive you crazy, right? But in the midst of all that, you have to learn how to be compassionate with yourself. This is a practice it's a self-care practice. You have to learn how to be kind to yourself in the midst of the setbacks, in the midst of the detours, in the midst of discouragement, in the midst of distractions. You have to learn how to be kind to yourself and really not focusing on negative self-talk or trying to avoid self-criticism. Let me say that. So many of us, we look in the mirror and be like, oh, this is not that, and I'm looking this, I'm looking, you're not going to do it, you can't, whatever it is. All these things are negative self-talk or self-criticism, or you self-sabotaging yourself. So we have to learn how to do better, right? Maybe you made some mistakes along the way. But those mistakes, depending on how they are, some mistakes are just you can't undo them, right? But even in the midst of the mistakes, you have to learn from the mistakes and be like, okay, you know what they say, hey, I made a mistake. And you make it again over and over and over again. Then that's on you. You can't help yourself. You're just not thinking correctly, or I don't know what you're going through, right? But you can't make the same mistakes over and over and over again. Now you just out of bounds with that one. Ain't nothing you can do. So you make a mistake, identify the mistake, and then correct it. That's just what it is. Don't stay there for days at a time whining about the mistake. No, the way you start to correct mistakes is you find solutions, or you make corrective actions, right? You have an action plan to say, okay, let me get past that. All right. So another thing, when you're talking about you versus you may need to hire somebody to help you out. You may need a coach, such as myself, or you are in the corporate world, whatever. You may need a mentor. You're doing entrepreneurship. You may need a coach or a mentor. This is very important, right? So when it comes down to coaching or having a coach, what it does is provide you with guidance and support as you work towards your goals. This is why, like if somebody said, Terrence, I need to eat better, I need to lose 100 pounds, I need to get back in shape, or I need you to come into corporate to help give us corporate programs. Yeah, you need a coach for that. Somebody with expertise, not just anybody. Just remember that. Somebody that's going to come in and really get the job done, because he or she, or in this case, me, shameless plug, is going to come in and get the job done, right? Now, after the coaching, you need to always be around positive individuals, right? This is very important on your journey. So when it comes down to you being your own competition, bruh, you have to be around positive people. They say the people that you spend the most time with can have an impact on your mindset and your motivation. This is so true. If you're around negative people, they be downers, or people is telling you can't do it, whatever, because they don't have the courage to go do it. Guess what? You start to believe in that. Guess what? You're going to crash and burn. You're not going to get what you need from them. You may have big dreams, big goals, big ideas, but you're around small minds. Some people, I've worked with a couple before. Well, a woman, she was married. She lose the weight. She lost like 70 pounds. She was a big girl, and she was looking great. And all of a sudden, her husband started seeing different people complimenting her, and he got nervous about all that, right? And he started bringing wings and pizza in. So he was sabotaging her, knowing that she had weaknesses for certain foods. And when you're on your journey, man, trust and believe me, certain foods going to smell great. It's going to smell amazing. And if you're not strong enough, you're going to really fall victim to that. And he was doing that. So this is the point I like to use about that people have an impact on your mindset and sabotage your motivation, right? If you're around the wrong people, that is. So you got to stay around positive people, man. It's just what it is. And in the midst of all that, we have to learn how to understand the power of self-talk. man, you got to say, I am, I will, I can, versus I can't, I'll never do this. Nah, man, you got to really, really motivate yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, look, I'm going to lose the weight. I'm going to get this client's contract. I'm going to get this promotion. I'm going to get back in shape. I'm going to get this business off the ground. I'm going to do it. You have to have powerful self-talk. This is what it is. If you don't have powerful self-talks, man, even in the midst of frustration, lack of motivation, distractions, insecurities, whatever it is, you have to learn how to, man, tap into your thought process and the power of the tongue, man. I'm trying to tell you right now, you have to have the powerful, positive self-talk with yourself, man. So when you're talking to yourself that way, in a powerful way, it starts to really cultivate a positive mindset. Like in the midst of it, you got to be like, okay, this is not going to break me. This is not going to stop me from achieving my goals, right? You start to talk to yourself in a supportive and encouraging way. It's just what it is. When your mindset is locked in on success and growth, and in the midst of all these things, setbacks and all those different things that have come up that to discourage you, you have to have the encouraging mindset to say, you know what, okay, where's the blessing? What's the lesson in this? How can I learn? How can I utilize this pain? Go back and check this show. Last show, utilizing your pain for growth and success. Listen to that. Negative self-talk is going to pop in your head. It's going to start zapping you, drain your energy, all that. But you have to avoid negative self-talk as much as you possibly can. Right? This is a big deal, man. Big deal. So, in the midst of all this, in your journey, how can you make yourself your own competition? Apply these strategies, right? When we start to make ourselves our own competition, we start to achieve greater success and fulfillment, whether it's small or large, in every area of our life. Sometimes it may be the snail process. You feel like things are not moving as fast enough, or things are redundant. You start to cut the fat, eliminate what's not working, then start work from there, right? When it comes down to you being your competition, it's so hard. But the thing is, we're always looking outward to see who's better than us, who we need to catch up to. No. What you need to learn is you need to look inward and say, okay, T, or whoever you are, I got to switch some things up. I got to do some things, because when it comes down to this competition thing with yourself, it's going to be your biggest hurdle. It's going to be your biggest enemy. You versus you, all day, every day. You are the only person in your head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they say you get like 80,000 thoughts a day. How many of them are positive and how many of them are negative? Are you avoiding negative self-talk? Because, man, them thoughts that come in, that little voice be in your head like, man, you can't do that. It ain't never gonna work. Sit down, just give up. And if you start to listen to that thing, like so many of you guys do, guess what? It ain't never gonna happen. You have to take your shot, whether you miss or not. So when it comes down to you versus you, this is the biggest challenge you're ever gonna face in every area of your life, every day of the freaking week, man. It's always going to be a challenge, always going to be competition with yourself in every area, on every level of your life. just what it is, man. So, gotta remember, gotta focus on your own progress, dog. You gotta celebrate your accomplishments, man. And you can't give up. Yeah, I know sometimes you feel like, man, I'm gonna give up on this. This ain't nothing, man. This ain't working. Man, if God gave you that dream, that gift, that idea, you gotta push to. I don't care what the world is doing. You put your blinders on, you stay keeping to your nose to the blind, and you get to it, man. Be the best version that you can be in what you're doing. Somebody gonna recognize you. Stay away from people that's gonna discourage you. Stay away from people who only want to do the lateral thing. You need to get with people who's going to accelerate you, to evolve you, right? This is what you have to do. Don't give up on it, man. So, how are you tracking your progress? How are you tracking your progress for success? What are you doing to stay motivated and identify everything for improvement? Like, what do you do? Are you journaling? Are you blogging? Are you talking to your mentor? Like, what are you doing? This is very important for you to stay focused, because we can lose track of what's going on. You're putting post-it notes all over the place. Like, everybody has their own thing, but what are you doing? You know? You have to do it. Find a way to stay encouraged. And also, find a way to take breaks too, right? Are you feeling exhausted? Or is it a burnout? Right? It's a difference. So you got to take breaks and then celebrate your accomplishment, right? You got to recharge your mind and your body, man. You got to take a break, whether it's going on vacation, sitting in the park, getting away from the laptop, whatever it is, man, cutting off social media, whatever it is, you have to take breaks to recharge. And when you do that, it's going to help to accelerate your journey to self-improvement and success. You got to take breaks. I don't care if you said, you know what, I'm just going to stay in the house this weekend and take a mental break. I'm just going to watch TV. I'm not going to do any work. And then in the midst of it, things start to come to you. You start to write, start to journal, write ideas down, and then that's good. Or you just listen quietly to the universe, you meditate, you pray, all those different things like that, right? So I want to try to encourage you with this blog podcast. I hope it inspire you to make your own competition. It's you versus you, pretty much. So make yourself your own competition, dog. So when you talk about your new potential, like some people say, oh, you're 40 and you're 50, or, what potential? Like, man, please do not listen to that, because you got a lot more miles on these tires. That engine is still good, man. I'm 57, and I'm like, yo, what else is next? I got potential to do so much more. So I'm constantly looking for self-improvement. I'm constantly in my head eliminating negative thoughts. I'm constantly trying to push the envelope for myself, right? I'm not comparing myself to nobody else. It's all good with the competition, but at the end of the day, man, I'm unique. I'm special in my own way. I got to, I have to harness that energy. I got to cultivate that mindset and push myself to the next level, right? But in the midst of that, I've learned that it's important to find a balance between healthy competition with yourself and self-compassion. This is so important. It's cool, it's important to strive for improvement. But in the midst of that journey, it's going to be hectic, right? So what I want to say is it's important to be kind to yourself and celebrate your accomplishments as well. Right? We get into the mix of go, things not going as planned. We still have to be self-aware and celebrate the accomplishments we did already. It's like, oh, you want to write that book, but you haven't done anything. It's been years. It's been months and years. You haven't even wrote the first chapter there. Once you get past the first chapter, you have to celebrate that. You lose your first 20 pounds, you have to celebrate that. You know, you pass that test to get to the next level for your degree, you have to celebrate that. Right? You woke up this morning feeling healthy and strong, you have to celebrate that. So be like, okay, cool. I've been up since, 5, which is kind of late for me, but I'm moving around, meditated, I prayed. Now here I am doing this show. But what's next for me? Do a quick workout, get some more things going for marketing, promotion, like I have a plan, right? So do I feel my best? At times I do. In times I'm like, oh man, this is not something, it's too slow. And I have to remind myself, like, yo, man, you dope, T. You dope. God is putting you here for a reason. This is your purpose. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You got to keep the blinders on. You got to keep going for yourself. So I have to remind myself how far I've come and why. And be patient. Have gratitude. Right? And let's do those affirmations and positive self-talk to really get you to the next level. Remember this. You are your own unique individual. And your journey is your journey. It's just what it is. Your journey is your journey. Make yourself your own competition. Don't worry about what Sally is doing. Don't worry about what John is doing. You stay focused on you, man. See, the thing about it is we're too distracted with social media and what everybody else is doing. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of it is lies. A lot of it is distraction. A lot of it is smoking screens, filters, all these different things, right? You can't worry about it. You have to do you, and don't be trying to outdo nobody, especially when you out. Look, man, people are sizing you up and down, man. Look, you have your own unique qualities. So you have to be on point. Look, this is a huge deal. And I want you guys to stay intact with yourself, man, because, listen, your competition isn't other people. Your competition is your bad habits, your distractions, your insecurities, right? Your fears, your ego, your procrastination, and your lack of discipline, right? And a lot of these things that come right from social media or right from what you're listening to on the radio, which the people you're around, like, that's it. It's not other things that it's not other people. It's all your things I just mentioned. So you got to focus on that. Anyway, happy Saturday, man. Just want to come in, touch bases, quick little blog podcast, 20 minutes. It's all good. So follow the show. All streaming platforms, and we're on London Energy Radio. Do the blog on the website as well, www.yourbestlifestyles.com. We got a lot of things coming up, man. We want you guys to be the best version of yourself always, right? and incorporate these tips and strategies for better health and well-being. Like, your competition is really you, dog. So if you need coaching, you need services, check us out once again on the website at www.yourbestlifestyles.com. And let's get to it, man. This is the purpose for me. We want to keep you encouraged, engaged, and stimulated, right? Organically, to get you to the next level. This is a big deal, and we want you to get there. All right, so we appreciate you guys. Make sure you go ahead and follow us, subscribe, download, and keep listening to us, man. Thank you so much, and thank you for subscribing as well. We really appreciate you guys. So Merry Christmas. Get ready for the next show. Every day we're doing a show. So check us out, man. We appreciate you guys. Much love and much success to you. And have a blessed Saturday. Remember to stay warm, stay bundled up, stay dry.